About to go live. We're live. Hey, we're evacuating. Still.
Still. We are on day 5 of our evacuation from the Keys.
Over 500 miles down.
Quick recap, we left our boat in Marathon, tied up as best we could. We fully know that in a Cat 5 hurricane, there's not much you can do.
It's Cat 4 now, and it's still not much you can do. And the current forecasts are calling for well over 100 mile an hour winds to be hitting Marathon.
As soon as tomorrow morning.
50 mile an hour tomorrow morning. By Sunday morning, oh my goodness, the forecast is awful.
So we drove up the turnpike to my mom's house in Melbourne, Florida on the Space Coast, which is where I had lived for 12 years before I hit the road with Chris. And then we picked up Zephyr, our other house, and decided to get the heck out of Dodge.
Melbourne. Yes.
Well,
Okay.
Yes. Well, out of the Dodge. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Dodging the hurricane. So we routed very carefully via back roads, and we actually avoided basically all the evacuation traffic. We took back roads through the Ocala National Forest yesterday, and it was actually a really beautiful drive. I wish we would be able to appreciate it under other circumstances.
It was stress relieving, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, if you are trying to evacuate, especially from the east coast of Florida out to the west, because that's seeming like the best direction right now, or going straight up the east coast of Irma keeps changing her mind.
Yeah, but get away from the coast is the key. So
if you are doing this, please know, don't just feel like you have to follow the interstates. Those are very clogged up. Take those old blue highways. Find the back roads.
Yes.
There are ways out there. Gas, yes, there are fuel stations that do not have gas or diesel left, but it can be found. We were able to keep both. We're caravanning with the truck that we escaped from the Keys in, and the bus. We have one diesel, one gas.
And the Mini Cooper also, which we're towing by the bus. We've got a lot of vehicles, and we're all topped off on everything. Last night, it was kind of bizarre. We got off the I-10 here in Live Oak, Florida, and one side of the highway there was this huge line to get into the big truck stop for fuel, and on the other side there's 5 gas stations, including the Walmart, that had no line whatsoever and plenty of fuel, and nobody's price gouging, which is really great. I really appreciate seeing that. So don't feel just because you see a huge line for fuel that there might not be more fuel if you just go around the block.
My biggest tip is keep all of your tanks that you are trying to don't let them get below about half. That way you don't get into a panic mode. Top up when you see the easy fill-ups and just keep going. It is possible to go, but your time of getting out safely is narrowing in right now. So I just want to emphasize that. So, I mentioned that I was on the Space Coast for 12 years before I met Chris. I went through the 2004 Hurricane Dodgeball that
evacuate.
I did 3 evacuations in a row. My house got hit twice. We are very aware of the impacts of hurricanes. We made a very conscious decision to stay in Florida with our new boat. Through the season, we knew it was a real risk. I didn't really think that all 4 house options that we had in Florida would be impacted.
Yes,
but
this is a once in 30-year storm, and
I think it's more than that.
Yeah.
But this is not your normal hurricane. When we were tracking it, we pretty much knew that we had to get out, or we had to make other amends, and there was no other clear path.
Right. So the thing was, if you're anywhere where there is a risk of flooding and storm surge, get out. Don't hold your ground. There's a few people who are still absolutely crazy. I've been checking on the Facebook group, are holding their ground down on boats in Marathon, Florida, and be away from water. Get inside concrete block buildings on high ground, and your life will be fine. The building might be effectively destroyed around you, but you will be fine. Or if you can, get further and further away where the hurricane's going to be a Cat 1 or just tropical storm, up into Georgia.
Make your own best decision. You have to make your own best decision, given the resources you have, the knowledge you have, the experience you have. That's what we had to do. That's what, if you have loved ones in Florida, that's what they have to do. It is scary. It is. I mean, it continues to look like it's just going to bowl right up the center of Florida.
It's like a bowling alley. It's nuts.
And then, we do know that the Speedway up in Atlanta is taking in refugees, or evacuees. I guess we're not refugees yet. We know that in Perry, Georgia, the fairgrounds there is taking in people. But that's right now where Irma is heading afterwards, still at storm force or tropical storm force, and lots of rain. So
and also lots of massive traffic and snarled infrastructure. So we're choosing to go from here basically west along the Panhandle, which will get us out of the cone as quick as possible, and just find some high ground to hunker down. So that's the direction we're headed next.
So we made it to Live Oak. We're at the Spirit of the Suwannee. It is a gorgeous music park. I really would love to come back and spend more time here.
Yes.
We thought it might be a good place to evaluate our options and have options which way to go, north, west, whatever. We're deciding right now. Alabama, Mississippi is looking like the next best option, so we've got another 300 or 400 miles to go.
Yep, and yeah, because right here, the Spirit of Suwannee is amazing, but the forecast here is 60, 65 mile an hour winds on Monday. And, well, you know, we don't want to sit here and wait and see if that veers off, and we don't want to be underneath these amazing, big, giant, beautiful trees.
We did not just go through all this effort just to have Zephyr have a tree fall on her. So,
yes.
Our last remaining home option. So we are out of here. We are caravanning, so we are both driving. We're not able to check comments and things like that during the day, so if you've got questions, I'm sorry, we're just not able to answer those while we're both driving. Yep. We are wishing everyone the best. Stay safe through this. Get to where you need to be. And we just have to keep on moving.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, there's no avoiding Mississippi.
No, but we will be avoiding low ground in Mississippi, and yeah, we're probably not going to go too much further outside of the cone, just because we got to catch our breath after.
We've had a long 5 days, and we might need to be positioned if we need to get back into Florida.
Right.
We've got 2 families' homes in the central area, plus we got the boat down in Marathon, so.
Yep, so
plus everyone else is going to be needing help, so.
Right. So stay safe, everyone. Take deep breath. Don't panic. Don't get too stressed. Don't get yourself in an accident on the highways, because that's actually where a lot more people get hurt sometimes than hiding in a block house. You know, protect yourself and stay safe, stay sane, and
so
breathe.
We have a question from my mom and dad. My dad passed away 4 years ago. He is with me in spirit. My mother is actually up visiting family already. She's already out of the area, so we helped resecure. She left some preps on her house.
But yeah,
but
there was no hurricane on the radar when she left. This was a pre-planned trip, and so we got her house secure. And then my parents have their winter houses in Spring Hill, Florida. It's their neighbor. They're in St. Louis right now. Their house is in as good a shape as can be down in Spring Hill. So we've got lots of family stuff in Florida that hopefully some of it is still there and come next week.
All right, guys, we're hitting the road. Best of luck to everybody.
Okay.
Stay safe. We'll check in when we can.
Okay, bye. Stop streaming.